Good morning. Today we're going to talk about parenting, just a couple little things. The night that we told my parents that we were expecting for the first time, my mother started laughing quite hard. And I said, "Why are you laughing?" She goes, "Oh, well, Sue, you've always been one to be in control, and you're never going to be in control again." Well, I wasn't so sure she was so right. And what did she mean that I always wanted to be in control? And I was trying to get over that whole point. But of course, she was right. As often, I found out she was right after I became a mother. Funny how that works. Two things about parenting. First of all, you're not meant to do it alone. And I don't mean just having your spouse help you. I mean you need a whole village to help you. And I found that out right away. As soon as I had Bonnie Sue and brought her home from the hospital, about a week later, I was so upset. And Mark said, "Well, call Trish." So I called my good friend Trish down in LA, and I was crying so hard. She was worried that something had happened to the baby. And I finally got out the words, "I don't like being a mother." And then, of course, she felt so guilty saying those words. And she goes, "Oh, Sue, you have the baby blues." Well, I had never heard of the baby blues. I mean, this was 27 years ago. Maybe people didn't talk about it. At least I didn't study that in my master's program. And I had never heard of it. But Trish was my village at that point, and she just made me feel so much better. And through the years, in fact, they were just here for dinner yesterday. She and Bob had come up from LA, and I still talk to her about my kids and even about Mark. And we need a village, we need a support group. And I just want to encourage you not to feel bad that you have to reach out to someone for some encouragement at one time or another, and that you'll be called on by a friend to be that village for them. So that's just the first thing. And then the second thing is that more is caught than taught. My friend Bonnie Masson still tells me that. And it's always a convicting statement to me that more is caught than taught, because I'm a teacher by nature, and I much rather tell my children how they should behave or what they should believe than show them the best way by the way that I behave and by the way that I act. Psalm 73:28 says this: "The nearness of God is my good." That's a beautiful verse. The nearness of God is my good. The best thing about you and I is our closeness to God. So it behooves us to be so close to Him that our children would see His goodness and our goodness all wrapped up together with Him. It gives me motivation to stay closer to Him, that more is caught than taught. Once, a long time ago, when the kids were quite small, we had been traveling from the San Jose airport back down to San Luis Obispo. And it was at night, and all of a sudden we felt, we heard a thump, and my husband saw it. He was driving, and he said there was a hawk flying into the car, and it did not fly off. It did not fall off. So I think it stuck on top of the van. And so, of course, all the kids woke up, and they were all excited, and we stopped the car, and there was the hawk, and he had kind of wild-eyed. He had a broken wing or leg. And Mark, ever the gentle doctor, lifted the hawk off the top of the car, and we stopped at a shoe store that was open in a little strip mall there, and got a shoe box and put the hawk in the box. And for the next 2 hours, we took this bird home. And it's kind of funny, you can find a wildlife society in the Yellow Pages even at night. And so when the wildlife lady came by to pick up the bird a few hours later, Mary Grace told her at the door, "I have prayed for Sal." Of course, she had named the hawk. "I have prayed for Sal 4 times already." And the nice lady said, "Well, I'm sure that that's helped," and that she told us that she would let us know if Sal survived. As come to think of it, I don't think we heard from her again. Your kids will automatically go to their source of strength and hope as they see you and I go to God as our source of strength and hope. Wouldn't you rather that they recall later on when they tell funny stories about us after we're gone, that they will go, I remember that. Yeah, Mom was totally imperfect, but she always believed in God. And she went to God when things were hard and when things were good. Rather than thinking, oh, Mom was always freaking out and so worried and wringing her hands. But instead of wringing her hands, rather clasp in prayer and trusting God as her, not only as her Lord and Savior, but as her source of strength day in and day out. More is caught than taught. I hope you remember that today as you parent. Thanks so much and have a great day.